Hello, and a very warm welcome to this Virtuositeam Change Agents course. This is a course for individuals who want to help change happen for their team, in their workplace, or even for themselves. My name is Colin Bullen. I am the founder and director at Virtuositeam. Describe myself as probably the world's only behavior change actuary. I have a real strong passion for creating fun and high performing workplaces. I started off in a fairly traditional actuarial career, and then I met this brilliant lady, and suddenly behavioral psychology was in my life in a very big way. Hanlie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course, Colin, thank you. Yes, my name is Hanlie van Wyk. I'm also a founder at Virtuositeam. And yes, as Colin has indicated, my interest lies in psychology and behavior change. But really, I'm a research nerd and I love researching. And I think that is one of the connections that Colin and I have with each other. So together, we started to notice that people find change sometimes really difficult, whether that's generating change in themselves or for people around them. So we decided to go on a decade-long search for theories and practical applications that we could put together and make change more easy, more natural, and more sticky. The result of that was the Four Powers model, which was created to help you create the context for change. I like to call it the ecosystem of change, something that's adaptive, something that's agnostic, and that can be applied across a variety of fields. And that is what you are going to embark on learning in this journey, and we are very excited for you. So the Four Powers model, by the name, it has four contexts in it. And you work in those contexts in order for change to happen sustainably over time. And the four contexts are spaces, self, systems, and social. When it comes to spaces, it's about the physical and virtual environment that we find ourselves in that guides or governs our behaviors. So practically, you might think of when you go to the movie theater, it's designed in a certain way to make you enjoy the show more. Maybe when you are doing your grocery shopping and you're checking out at the checkout counter, those little lanes are there for a reason to make sure that you are more enticed in buying things that maybe are not the healthiest for you. And in the work environment, office spaces and factory floors are also designed in specific ways to make you more efficient, effective, or to perhaps generate more collaboration or brainstorming. So think about what spaces are around you that you find yourself in that may be designed in these particular ways. Then there is self. Self is me, myself, and I, my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs, my values, just my worldview, how I show up in the world and what my lenses are for that. And of course, each person has their own set of systems or pieces within themselves that they use to navigate the world. And so one of the contexts that you will look into is that of self, and also beginning to learn about yourself and your own change superpowers within that.
Okay, so that's spaces and the self. The next is then the systems context. So you can think about this as the virtual environment in which we operate. In contrast to the physical spaces and the virtual elements of that Hanley talked about, this context speaks to the influence of rules, regulations, policies, procedures. At a country level, there's legislation. At an organizational level, it's culture. Now, all of these things have a strong influence on the way in which you act on a day-to-day basis. You can think of them as guide rails for our daily activities. If you don't move these to align with the direction of change that you're trying to create, you're going to get resistance on your journey to change. That's even more true of the fourth context, the social context. That's all about the relationship that we have with the people around us and the influence that they exert on us all the time. It's our family and friends, our colleagues at work, of course, our bosses, and others that we meet. They're either encouraging us or towards a certain way of behaving, or they're discouraging us. If you're trying to make change and they are not on your side, honestly, it's not going to happen. They're a really powerful influence in your lives and a big potential resistance to change. So those are the four contexts: the context of spaces, the self, of systems, and of social. That's all well and good. It tells you what you need to do to create an environment, or literally a context, where you can make the change more natural and easy to achieve. But which behaviors are you actually going to go and change? So the second part of the question that you need to ask and answer, of course, is, okay, what behaviors should I be doing differently to the ones that I'm doing at the moment? And why? Do I have a good reason for that? Hanlie, do you want to take them through the habit prescription process?
Absolutely. So before you embark on learning how to create these ecosystems for change, you have to figure out what it is that you want. We call those outcomes. So which outcomes are you interested in? And for the purpose of this course, we are going to use high performance behaviors that we know create exceptional teams as an example for you to practically go to work on. So we're going to offer you 5 outcomes from which you can choose 2. And we suggest that you keep 2 because there'll be a lot of other work in there. And those 5 are creating great communication, right? Using processes and skills for that. Building collective alignment by focusing on purpose and vision. Finding the meaningful methods that will be the guardrails for high performance. Creating an open culture in which people can be authentic and have fun. And finally, fostering self-care to enable you and your team to be able to show up at your best every working day. Those will be the 5 outcomes of which you can choose 2. In each of these outcomes, there are specific habits that are going to help you achieve that. We call them habit prescriptions, practical actions that you can practice on a daily or weekly basis, or get your team to do the same, so that will help you deliver those outcomes that you have chosen. So once you've made those choices, you will start on your journey to learn how to create the context for change with something very practical and tangible in your hands. You're going to work through the 4 contexts that we've just introduced you to. And by doing this, you will become much more effective and impactful as a change agent for your team, your organization, and perhaps also in your own life.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully that's got you excited about what you're about to learn, and we really hope you're going to enjoy this course. At the end of this, you should be much more proficient at creating change for yourself and for your colleagues. By the way, this course is practical in its nature, and we've included many examples and reflections for you. You'll find it's best to engage in this, in the optional reading and the exercises that we list. They may take a little bit of time, particularly where others are involved, and we'll take you through the process of setting up a buddy relationship, but it's well worth it in the end. Taken at the right pace and completing the exercises will give you the confidence to get out there in the real world and make change happen. As you'll learn during the course as well, we're a growth mindset company. If you've got any feedback for us, either positive or constructive, please send it to us on hello@virtuositeam.com. We'd love to hear from you. So, best of luck. Off you go.